Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear is calling on the sheriff of Letcher County to step down after the murder of Judge Kevin Mullins. And next month, Kentucky will start distributing business licenses for medical marijuana.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We're at that 5:30 mark this Friday morning, and let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
Good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. Another first alert day here on WYMT, and understandably so. This will be potentially the second worst day or the worst day, depending on how you were affected with the severe weather back on Tuesday. Hot off the press at the top of the hour, high wind warnings were extended further to the north and west and encompass most of southern and eastern Kentucky this morning, minus those of you in Wayne, Owsley, Breathitt, Magoffin, Johnson, Lawrence, and Martin counties, extending into southwestern portions of West Virginia, deemed, quote unquote, only as a wind advisory. Just understand, by the time we get to 9-10 o'clock this morning, region-wide, gusts 45 to near 50. Some of us, though, will see gusts potentially up to 60 miles per hour, with the rain continuing, and the ground is soaking it in. It's in some cases not a good thing. A few of you have seen over 5 inches of rain this week. Flood watch in effect. Temperature-wise, quick 64 here in Hazard. Gusts again 20 to 25. They'll double, and that's the pinpoint Doppler radar showing a little break coming in, but there is more moisture lurking south and east. More about the ARH First Alert 7-day forecast coming up at about 5:44. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. Governor Andy Beshear is calling for Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins to resign following that deadly shooting inside a courthouse that claimed the life of a judge. Steins was arraigned on Wednesday in connection to the murder of District Judge Kevin Mullins. In a letter yesterday, Governor Beshear asked that Steins step down by the end of the day today. He says it's important that Letcher County has a sheriff that can be out in the community keeping people safe.
And what I'm trying to do is to get Letcher County a sheriff that can be active as quickly as possible. That happens the fastest if the current sheriff resigns.
And if the sheriff does not resign by the end of the day today, the governor says the state will begin the process to remove him. A New York man has died from a listeria infection tied to recalled deli meat from Boar's Head. That makes the 10th death in the outbreak that has seen 59 people hospitalized in 19 states. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it is likely much larger. That's because it can take up to 10 weeks for symptoms to begin. Many people also recover without being tested for the bacteria. Boar's Head discontinued all of its liverwurst products. It also permanently closed the Virginia plant where the meat was contaminated. A kidnapping attempt in Louisville is caught on a family's ring doorbell camera. The parents say their kids were playing outside when the man approached. The kid's mother asked the man what he was doing. He responded by saying, "I just want my baby back." When the mother asked him to leave, the man grabbed a nearby shovel and charged toward the door. The man only runs away after he is threatened with a gun. The family says they are living in fear.
My daughter looked at me, and when I was crying, trying to comfort her, making sure she's okay, she was hugging me, crying, telling me it was okay. They didn't take me, Mommy. I'm here with you. You did what you needed to do. You're here to protect me, so is Daddy.
No arrests have been made, but the LMPD is investigating the incident and says a report was taken for menacing and criminal trespassing. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is facing multiple federal charges. He's accused of taking bribes and illegal campaign contributions from foreign sources. The five-count indictment alleges that in exchange, Adams helped Turkish officials with fire clearances for a new diplomatic building in the city.
Mayor Adams took these contributions even though he knew they were illegal. And even though he knew these contributions were attempts by a Turkish government official and Turkish businessmen to buy influence with him.
This is just one of at least 4 federal investigations into Adams or his inner circle. At least 3 high-ranking city employees have already resigned in recent weeks. A Wise County man has been sentenced for his involvement in a conspiracy to distribute meth linked to the murder of Virginia police officer Michael Chandler. Christopher Bates was sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison. He is the 8th defendant to be convicted for his role in the conspiracy. The lottery for medical marijuana business licenses is happening next month. Kentucky received almost 5,000 business license applications before the window closed last month. The majority of them were for dispensaries and people interested in opening one. Only 48 of those applicants will actually get a license. Governor Beshear said the state is currently processing all of the applications in the permit lottery will be broken up based on different roles. The first permits will be awarded next month. Meanwhile, the governor awarded the first medical cannabis business license to a Kentucky-owned lab. KCA Labs is located in Nicholasville, just south of Lexington. Their job focuses on regulatory and safety testing for medical cannabis products before it's put in the hands of cardholders. Governor Beshear was thrilled to make this announcement as officials handed off the first license.
I love that the first license is going to an entity that helps us do this safely. Our Office of Medical Cannabis has established strict regulations, and safety compliance facilities like KCA will guarantee all Kentucky cannabis is held to the highest medical standards.
Labs are in a different category from cultivators, processors, and dispensaries, so a lottery is not needed to give out those licenses. Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor is encouraging literacy in the Bluegrass State. Yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was in Ashland meeting with the board of directors of the Jesse Stewart Foundation. The Jesse Stewart Foundation is a nonprofit started by the author Jesse Stewart and his wife back in 1979. It republishes Stewart's work and as well as publishing books by other local authors.
I am here as Lieutenant Governor, but I'm also the mother of a 4-year-old, and we read every day because we know how important that is. And so when it comes to early childhood literacy, that is the best indicator of kindergarten readiness, of 3rd grade literacy rates.
The Jesse Stewart Foundation bookstore and gift shop is on 13th Street in Ashland. The Appalachian Regional Commission is awarding a pair of $700,000 grants to Southwest Virginia. That announcement coming from Congressman Morgan Griffith's office. The funding awarded to Big Stone Gap will support infrastructure upgrades at Big Cherry Lake. The funding awarded to Wise County will support wastewater treatment system improvements at the Mountain Empire Community College Centers for Workforce and Innovation for Appalachia. The Moorhead community is mourning the loss of Troy Caldwell, a beloved tow truck driver who was killed on I-64 in Bath County Wednesday evening. The 54-year-old died after being struck by a commercial vehicle while working near mile marker 124. The driver of that vehicle, Shadman Yuldashev of New York, has been arrested and faces charges of evidence tampering. Caldwell has been described as someone who left a profound impact on the community.
And Troy was just a nice guy, always willing to do anything that you ask him to do. He would go above and beyond on accident scenes. So it's a tough loss for everybody.
Officers say Yuldashev was watching YouTube at the time of the crash. When we return, Power Up the Pantry came and went yesterday as officials called the event a success despite the weather.
It's been a very active day, or check that, it's been a very active week. It will be a very active day. Somewhat of a lightning regarding the precipitation, but how does it pick up again? And how about the wind as well, right? All the details with your ARH First Alert 7-day forecast coming up right after this.